Hey, I'm Divine Devil. Before we dive into today's episode, let me explain a few things first. This is an interactive series. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means you, the viewer, can actively participate. How? By leaving a comment where you suggest a character you'd like me to introduce into the series. If you're still unsure how it works, don't worry, I've made a detailed video explaining everything and I'll link it in the description for you to check out. Alright, let's get started!
Finally! We've got our own fort, our own base to defy the odds of the wasteland.
Yarr! I'm mighty glad I joined your crew. This truly feels like the place where I belong. You're feeling alright, matey? Yarr, didn't catch scurvy, did ya?
I thought it was just your name, but that's really all you can say, huh? With a squad of 20 men now, we had a lot of mouths to feed. To defy the god of starvation, we set up a wheat straw and cactus farm. For the wheat straw, we built a silo and a bread oven. Since the silo needed power, we naturally set up wind generators. As for the cacti, we simply cooked them into chew sticks on our stove. Next up was arming the men. We still lacked the resources to equip everyone with their desired gear, but we were working on it. To strengthen our army even more, we needed combat training. So, me, Moino, Kyrian and He Whom Sniffed made our way back to the southern wetlands to capture strong beasts for that very purpose.
Great, the swamp. Why are we roaming into this area again?
Freedom, liberty and swamp raptors, haha!
On top of the swamp raptors and all the other hazards, there's supposed to be this group of bandits called the Swamp Ruffians that have been raising hell in this area.
Damn, do bandits just flock to the swamp?
Seems like it. At this point, place is just loaded with some type of group around every corner. Sounds like a great place to wander into. Sounds like a suicide mission to me.
Once you get behind the fog, the place has its charms.
Sure, whatever you have to tell yourself. I'm just saying.
Once we had them, we hauled them over our shoulders and dragged them back to the base. There, we let the trainees beat up those helpless creatures for XP. Just another casualty of the wasteland. To further fortify our defenses, we began researching mounted crossbows and taller, thicker walls. Those walls allowed us to rain harpoons down from above upon anyone foolish enough to attack our base. With the base somewhat secured, we finally felt comfortable leaving it behind in the hands of our homestayers while we gathered field experience. Forming a military formation, we ventured back into the wasteland. Not to find home this time, but to find the resources needed to support one. We hunted wild animals to stave off famine, even wiping out an entire wolf den by accident. Their meat would keep us fed for a while longer. A bit later, we stumbled upon an unexpected sight. A bar in the middle of the desert. Curious, I ordered the crew to hang back to minimize risk in case it was a trap. But as I stepped up to the entrance, I was kindly greeted by a hiver who filled me in on where we were.
Hey Peregrine, welcome to the Great Flayer's Town. Make yourself comfortable at the bar. Rest from the chaos of the swamps.
The place was bustling with all kinds of faces, bodies, shapes and spirits. As I stepped inside, I was surprised to find that, despite its remote location, it was just another ordinary bar. Open to everyone. I browsed some interesting vendors selling items I'd completely forgotten about. As with any bar, there were a few lonely souls here as well. I figured we could use some extra hands, so I approached them. The first was Mr. Bones, a mechanical hiver, towering over the rest of us. He wasn't very talkative about his past or motives, but another mechanical ally meant one less mouth to feed. Surely, he'd prove to be very valuable back at the base. Sitting just across our table on another one was Atlas. He was much more talkative about his shocking past. I am Atlas, a former paladin of Okran. Early in my training, I fled with my holy flame, setting out on a spiritual journey in search of answers. I dream of one day becoming a holy knight messiah, ushering in a new age of spirituality and faith for those who refuse to see the great truth. My hope is to change the minds of those in the holy nation, to help them realize that Okran's true will is to unite everyone against the darkness. And just like that, we had recruited 2 new allies. Before leaving, we stocked up on food for the road, but apparently some hungry bandits caught the scent of our supplies and tried to ambush us. Big mistake.
Buried alive by the lies in they soul. They stride of a blind man stroll. But for whom does the next bell toll? I'm too many years in the zone, too many years to have built what I own. And many dumb fools try to take what I've grown, but these roots go deep and you can't blood a stone. So if you wanna push, I'ma shove. If you wanna spar, we can do it no gloves. And if you're gonna run at me, you better do it hard. Cause I fear no fall, no brawl, no scars. I'm 2 pounds shy of a bomb. I'm 1 shade short of a...
Holy Okran! Is this your daily life, you guys?
Quite impressive.
My 5'7" is irrelevant. I'm 6'6". If you threaten my development, now see a wise man learns from your mistakes and lets the blunders of his brother serve to fill his plate. So best be on your way before the tidal wave breaks, cause you don't wanna come to meet the reaper that awaits. Say no more than a mom you can't afford. And you don't wanna let this turn in the lines of mine and yours. And you don't wanna pressure up, but back up and withdraw. Cause trust me when I tell you, you don't want that tooth and claw. And you don't wanna see inside a mind of savage kind. And you don't want that recognition of, oh, there goes that guy. But if you do decide that you were gonna play that hand and try, just think before you act, because your actions go around.
Yet another group of training dummies later, we entered an area known as Venge. It didn't take long to realize this place was hostile to life itself. We watched in horror as massive laser beams rained from the sky, incinerating everything in its wake.
The other one is still running here. Watch out for this guy. Damn you. The other one.
The other what?
The other eye. We can't survive here for long. Have to move quickly.
Why don't you guys ever explain anything properly?
Trusting the wisdom of our ancient skeleton companion, we avoided traveling in large groups through the area. Maybe one day, someone fast enough would return to see what we had missed. But for now, we skirted the death zone, heading towards Stope's Gamble. The only viable option, as the upper areas were plagued with acid rain, and none of us felt like getting our skin melted off. As we pushed forward, we stumbled upon a Highlander outpost, an old enemy of ours. Predictably, things escalated. They noticed us sneaking by and a fight broke out. We threw them down harder than they threw us, but exhaustion was setting in. Some of us were wounded, badly. Some were even unconscious. We needed rest, and fast. And as if the gods were listening, we spotted a Greyflayer camp in the distance. It wasn't much, just a temporary settlement, but in our current state, it was good enough. We seized it. Since skeletons didn't need to sleep, Mars, LA-M, MKI and Mr. Bones kept a watchful eye on the surroundings. The rest of us finally got some well-earned rest. We really fucked them up, huh? This would be the perfect opportunity to light up a blunt to celebrate. It's survival of the fittest out here. Did you see how I kicked that guy's nose clean off his face? Is that even possible?
Shh! I'm trying to sleep!
After recovering, we arrived at Flats Lagoon, where Mars and Marsh had an interesting conversation.
Survivors who have journeyed through here are hard to come by. People don't tend to come back alive.
They find skinless corpses in the pits. Say, there's mist ghouls that flay and eat you.
Mist ghouls don't exist.
How do you know? I know a guy who knew another guy that knew this woman, whose second uncle saw one while he was selling cactus rum outside Crabtown.
Not real.
I think Juice's uncle would disagree.
Not real.
They are real. I saw one once. It told me to eat more green fruits, then turned into a purple bone dog and melted into... Wait, yeah, I remember it was a dream.
Just stop talking.
As they bickered, we spotted a massive iron fortress on the horizon, held up by tall, rusted pillars, standing above the muddy wasteland below. Exploring a new region always meant discovering new creatures, and here we encountered land bats. Most of us found them cute. Devil, however, seemed jealous. We wanted to check out the Iron Fortress, but unfortunately, we found out that it belonged to the tech hunters who were hostile towards us. So, no dice. And now we finally arrived at Stope's Gamble. We were greeted with heavy, fast winds. It was so strong that we worried about our feeble hiver companions to get blown away. Thankfully, that didn't happen, but rather, they had to deal with rubble and leaves getting constantly blown into their faces. Another sight to behold was the encounter with this planet's largest animal, fittingly named the Leviathans. We kept our distance. A new region also meant new factions, and naturally, of course, these ones over here didn't like our presence either. The Onis attacked, and they were strong, but we outnumbered them and after a hard-fought battle claimed victory once again. Just ahead, we found a small ghost settlement. 6 houses, abandoned and silent. 2 of the doors were unlocked, but they also had nothing behind them. As I cracked open the 3rd door, I was greeted by mechanical iron trouble. Crap! Mechanical spiders. Poorly programmed, thankfully, luring them out one by one made them easy to deal with. But they packed a punch nonetheless. We needed another approach. Run inside, dodge the bots, grab the loot, get the hell out. I sprinted past the horrors of iron, checked the first crate and... Hash? Really? Risking my life for hash? Whatever, I was committed now. Next crate, hash. Next, more hash. I barely made it out alive. I couldn't believe what I was doing here. Oh well, but I guess Quill would be happy to get his hands on some hash. Here. Hash. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, sure. That was enough looting for today. Further ahead, we saw a Leviathan Alpha obliterating a group of land bats and skeletons. Not much of a contest. The next event we came across to see was a black alpha gorilla, who was locked in a battle to the death with a group of skeletons. When they all fell, we moved in for the kill, hoping to scavenge some meat. It nearly knocked half of us out. And even more monsters were walking around here. Crab raiders! We ventured into an area we now realized we'd rather not be in. The situation was getting out of hand, so we decided to seek shelter back at the hemp farm in a house that was unoccupied. Once all of us had safely made it in there, I separated from the crew to go find something to help us out of this mess. I took Devil with me and shut the door behind them. Fuck, we're in deep! This couldn't be worse. I mean, we could all be dead by now. Well, I guess that means it's time to make some use of that hash.